Comes to crypto gaming right now, debatably, nobody knows what's going on. The crypto gaming market was super hot early in the cycle, and kind of like clockwork, it's calmed down. A lot of these games have, for the most part, delayed over and over and over, and now we're kind of asking ourselves, what is coming in next? So, took it upon myself. I've gone to the biggest crypto conference of the year, Token 2049, Seeking Alpha. Went to Dubai before that, got some crypto gaming alpha. I just want to talk about the industry because I feel like a lot of people, they just want to see videos of me doing tier lists about crypto games or just saying, oh, here are the top play to airdrop crypto games to go ahead and play for the month of, I don't know, let's say September 2024. Well, that's great and all. You know, it's great to go ahead and cover new games. The people want the alpha. The people are coming for the alpha. So I wanted to share some of my perspective, and hopefully this is useful for you. So if you enjoy the content, like and subscribe for iPhone quality, incredible crypto for the Bitcoin price. We're going to be talking about the crypto gaming markets, and let's get right into it. So what have I learned? Well, what I've learned is a bit of a confirmation bias. It's kind of what we think is happening already, where a lot of these crypto games, they kind of already have their product shipped out for the most part. There are bugs, and what I think is going to be happening is the PC gaming for crypto is in a little bit of a rut. It's going to be a little bit hard for these crypto games in the PC markets to be a success, and that's because we've got these big marketplaces in gaming, in PC that just don't like crypto. It's just the unfortunate truth that we've got to come to terms with. You could go all day and say, oh, but they're going to build their own metaverses, so it's perfectly fine. Well, you kind of might be true, depending on how much money they're going to spend on marketing and retention, all that stuff, right? But it's way easier to just say, if they just launched on a phone, it'd be much easier for them. It's just recorded a video on an iPhone, they'd be doing pretty fine. So what I think is happening right now is a lot of these crypto games are thinking about porting to mobile, delaying their TGEs as always. We're going to get so many tokens that are launching, and a lot of tokens with a lot of liquidity. And that's, I think, the main narrative that is coming. Whenever you have these big narrative shifts, that's because we have some huge launch that brings a bunch of liquidity, a ton of money, fresh money into the ecosystem. If people are making money, then it's just not going to work out for everyone. We had some pretty similar situations in the past. For example, if you're, part of my audience from the past, you know about Gala. Sure, these days, Gala is, we don't even know what's happening half the time. But we do remember that last cycle, they were absolutely pumping up the wazoo, and Townstar was making millionaires left and right. NFTs were selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was absolutely absurd. It made no sense, but that was reality for us. And so that liquidity brought up every other gaming token that ended up launching before it. There are a lot of people that think there's too many crypto gaming tokens. I don't think so. I think that inevitably, just like Steam launches 40 games a day, most of these crypto games are just not going to work out. And that's why, you need to do your due diligence. I think personally, if you're new to the markets, if you're someone that thinks you're a magical guru because you saw a YouTube video like this one, and you're going to buy this altcoin that's worth $10 million, I urge you maybe not to do that. I'd want you to do your own research and probably pick winners that already have a track record. You probably want to get into something like Ronin or something that has already shown success. But even that, right, gaming as an industry, it's very unproven. Right now, we don't have a proven model. We had Axie Infinity, which pumped up the wazoo. It was great for everyone involved at the time, but then we all got used for exit liquidity. So depending on your timing, it went well, didn't go well. For me, I was lucky enough to time the markets. I have a lifelong history with MMORPGs and trading in markets, so, it comes second nature. Not everybody has that sort of experience, years of experience in the markets. That's, at the end of the day, what you need. Not some kind of, knowledge basis where you pull up a Google sheet and magically, you're a god. So what I would say is patience is definitely the number one thing you want to do in this market. I can make, those videos, like I said earlier, about the play to airdrops and all that stuff. You want to farm play to airdrops that have some kind of NFT incentive, because what I think is going to happen right now is that there are a lot of TGs that are coming, right? Presumably, so a lot of tokens are coming. So a lot of these NFTs that didn't really have any utility, if you notice there's a token that for the most part is doing some kind of raise, they're raising money for whatever it is, whether or not it's equity for their company or something else. And you notice a lot of subtle tweets are coming up, and they have an NFT collection, and the token hasn't actually launched just yet. we can assume that there's probably going to be some kind of airdrop event coming in the next 2 months. So we want to be accumulating those NFTs because we think there's going to be an NFT run because of the fact that NFTs are quite illiquid. And whenever markets are not pumping, where do people go? The next best thing. And the next best thing is NFTs. NFTs are liquid, they're easier to pump, and they also kind of just make sense. Kind of make sense in the grand scheme of things for the crypto gaming markets, the utility basis. You also trade tokens for tokens. Right now in the regulatory scene, it seems like that's kind of where we're going. I also think the node meta is going to be continuing very strong. There's a lot of people that have conflicting point of views when it comes to nodes. You don't want to just ape into every node. You absolutely want to think of nodes as getting into a token very early. It's like the new era of fundraising in a way. And before people go in the comments and say, oh, but they're using the public for exit liquidity, I don't think that's the truth at all. A lot of venture capital funds and just people investing within these crypto projects, they buy nodes. They get into those node plays. Are they getting into the node plays at the earlier tiers? They are getting into those nodes in the earlier tiers. That's why I always say you don't want to get into the nodes at tier 50 or tier 30 or tier 20. It doesn't make any sense. Don't bother doing that. There's a lot of people also saying that the public will never gain access to the earlier tiers of nodes. I mean, we just had the Revolving Games node sale. I bought during essentially what was the public sale at the same time as everybody else, and we got tier 1s. All of us got tier 1s. I don't even think the tier 1s ended up selling out. So there's a lot of opportunity within markets right now. It's not supposed to sell out. There's not a crazy amount of demand in the crypto gaming markets. But in terms of the token game, that's what I'm looking at. Now, in terms of games, we're looking for Off the Grid. We're looking for MapleStory Universe. We're looking for those titles that are awesome, that are very Web 2 centric, that are going to get adoption. There are multiple ways to see the crypto markets. There are the investors, there are the play to airdrop farmers that are only playing for money, essentially, incentives. And then there's the people that are non-extractors, the people that are coming from Web 2 that just want to play a fun game. The people spending millions of dollars on skins, they're those people. So they're the legendary audience that everybody goes ahead and wants. But it's very difficult to actually keep them because they need someone to flex on. It's the truth, right? Everybody needs someone to flex on. When I play traditional games, I spend a ton of money on skins. I think we can all kind of agree that we like flexing a cool little looking knife. And everybody respects it. They know what they see. So it's like walking around with a Prada bag. I know it's a little bit materialistic, but people they like doing it. It makes them feel good. So I think that's where the world is going to continue to be heading. Right now, we have a very unique thing in the crypto gaming. There's a lot of people that think that you need to immediately go to those Web 2 audiences to get the flexers. But what you really need is to understand that you need to build a cool game. I know it's the lamest thing I've ever said in the world. But you need to build a good game. You need to go ahead and have that diehard community that we already have in crypto. Really, what is already here is enough to have a blast, a huge hit, millions upon millions of players. We already have everything necessary to have a huge success. We have that diehard community that is craving a good crypto game. It already exists. So all we need is a good game to come out, which I've play tested quite a few games that I think are actually very impressive. There are a lot of crypto games on the channel, even some of the sponsor ones that are absolutely awesome. I mean, Wilder World, Star Atlas, for two examples that I would argue, a couple of years ago, people didn't think was going to launch anything. They didn't think they were going to launch anything. But you look at it today, and these games are a lot further along. Are they finished? No. I still think that these games are still in the early parts of their development cycles. But at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of games that when this cycle kicks off, they're going to want to go ahead and move over to our industry, take advantage of whatever's going on here, because it's a lot easier to get that Web 2 audience to convert, to actually retain when you have this huge diehard crypto community. People always fade the diehard crypto community, but I think that's really what's going to blow things up. So what do I think is going to happen? Quarter 4, we're going to get some really solid titles. I think it's going to happen November to December, most likely, unless we get an absolute collapse in the crypto markets, which I guess, we don't know if that's going to happen or not. Politics is really complicated. I don't like talking about it on the channel. I know it's election season, so you kind of have to talk about it a bit, but it's a very complicated situation right now. So we don't know what's going to happen in November. We don't even know if it even matters. So I'm not going to be going ahead and assuming what's going to happen, but I do know that a lot of people are waiting for the results of this election, and they're also waiting for liquidity to come back after the results of this election. Because there's a lot of people in this world that believe that if their political candidate doesn't win, that the world is over. The truth is, it's probably not over. We've had plenty of times where your candidate doesn't win, we all get an upset, but the world moves on. Is it better? Is it worse? I don't know if it's better or worse, but when it comes to gaming, we're just waiting to see a little bit more stability. You're just like the VCs. You're just like the funds. They're all the same. They're all pretty down bad for the most part early this cycle. So everybody's waiting for the exact same thing, some stability to go ahead and launch your games in Q4 when people are ready to play games, when people aren't consistently worried about whatever is going to happen with this election. So November to December is what I'm beelining as my big month. I'm also expecting October to be big for crypto gaming as a result of games wanting to front run, wanting to launch before the other games end up launching, or their token. Let's be honest, it's probably their token first. I don't like people launching their tokens first, but they're going to do it anyway, so can't really do much about it. You got to trade the market for what it is. But we're likely going to see, some of these crypto games try to front run other crypto games, because the idea is if we launch first, then we're going to be the ones to go ahead and benefit the most, which to some extent you're right, but you need to have a good product. You need to have a good product to be able to have that longevity that everybody's looking for in crypto gaming. But that's going to be my little market update. I hope you learned something. I hope this was valuable. If you like the content, if you like the iPhone videos, let me know. Until the next time, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.